In tonight's headlines, police arrest a man and a woman from allegedly faking the suicide note of a deceased professor with seditious intent. Mainland Olympians thrill Hong Kong audiences with their skill and mesmerising performance. And China's Dongdong shatters the long jump record at the Paralympics in Paris.
The National Security Department of the police arrested a 41-year-old man and a 28-year-old woman allegedly involved in acts with seditious intention on Friday. Sources said the arrests were made in connection to an incident last Sunday, in which City University professor Li Hinhua died after falling onto the rail tracks at Kowloon Tong Station. Officers escorted the male suspect, who was handcuffed and not blindfolded, to Tai Wai to collect evidence, and found a motorcycle involved parked in an alley. The arrestee was suspected of continuously placing memorial light boxes at multiple locations, with content that incites hatred against the central and SAR governments. Separately, the male suspect was accused of disseminating false suicide statements about the deceased. According to police, someone posted on social media what was claimed to be a suicide note posted on WeChat by Li Hinhua, within which the 2019 social unrest was mentioned. City University has urged the public not to believe in online rumors and said it will cooperate fully with the police. Both individuals are suspected of violating the national security law, specifically for committing acts with incitement intentions. The case is still under investigation, and the police do not rule out the possibility of further arrests. Jeremy Zhu, Cable News. National team Olympians continue to take the spotlight as they wrapped up their visit in the city, showing off their skills in badminton, table tennis, gymnastics, and diving, and leaving fans in awe at two venues. The diving duo of Chuan Hongchan and Cheng Yuxi brought their splash disappearing technique from the Paris Olympic venue to Victoria Park swimming pool. They were followed by four-time Olympic gold medalist Cao Yuan. The synchronized diving performance by the duo of Chen Yiwen and Chang Yani also thrilled the audience. A total of 26 national team athletes participated in the diving demonstration, including the Dream Team, which backed all 8 diving gold medals at the Paris Games. They demonstrated their skills alongside local athletes at the poolside. It's fun to showcase our skills in this way. It's less serious than during competitions, said 3-meter springboard gold medalist Chen Yiwen. The event also featured the twins' artistic swimming gold medalists Wang Liuyi and Wang Qianyi, as well as the emerging flying fish Pan Zhanle and fellow swimmer Qing Haiyang, who participated in a friendly match with local athletes. Audience described the performance as highly sought after, and they enjoyed the opportunity to see young athletes shine. Meanwhile, at Queen Elizabeth Stadium, two-time gold medalist and gymnast Liu Yang dazzled the crowd with moves like the back handspring and the cross hold on the reins. While Team Hong Kong players Yang Ah-ting and Yan Pui Lam faced off against national team stars Chen Qingchen and Jia Yifan in badminton. The most anticipated event seemed to be the table tennis showdown featuring Fan Zhendong and Ma Long. I think we can learn from the table tennis athletes their spirit of never giving up, said this fan. Today's event concluded the national team's 3-day visit to Hong Kong before heading to Macau. Jeremy Zhu, Cable News.
Secretary for Labor and Welfare Chris Sun clarified that a person's nationality is not the sole factor to define whether they are international talent under the scheme to attract top talents to the city. His remarks came after criticisms said that 95% of the approved applicants under the Top Talent Pass scheme are mainlanders, instead of international talents, undermining the purpose of the scheme. Using the Category C applicants who were fresh graduates as an example, Sun told reporters after a radio interview that the majority of these mainlanders graduated from universities in the U.S., allowing them to possess a more international perspective.
If you look at where they are graduating from, the biggest category are those graduating from universities in the USA. So while they may be mainlanders, but they receive their higher education in America, obviously they have a more international perspective. And with these people in Hong Kong, I'm sure they're going to bring benefits and will add value to our economy.
Meanwhile, during the radio interview, the Labor and Welfare Chief said the government planned to expand the scheme to Southeast Asia and Europe, especially targeting Malaysia, as many ethnic Chinese are trilingual. In response to the Vice President of the Chinese Association of Hong Kong and Macau Studies, Tam Yu-tong's call for building specified rental homes for global talent earlier in the week, Sun said those who came to the city to seek development are high-end international talents with above-average capabilities. Therefore, the focus should be on providing conveniences rather than housing subsidies. Separately, Sun strongly urged scheme applicants to be aware of misleading online information, as some of those suggested acts, such as setting up shell companies, could violate application requirements and local laws. Evelyn Bai, Cable News.
1 month after the Wild Animals Protection Amendment Law came into effect, Hong Kongers are again reminded not to feed wild animals or feral pigeons, as enforcement officers will take immediate enforcement action without giving prior verbal warnings starting tomorrow. Coming into effect on August 1st, the amendment law expanded the territory-wide ban on feeding wild animals to cover feral pigeons. Illegal feeders will face a newly imposed fixed penalty of $5,000, with maximum penalty increased to $100,000, as well as 1 year imprisonment.
As the new school year will start next Monday, Hong Kongers are urged to pay attention to busy morning traffic while parents are advised. Writing in a social media post, Secretary for Transport and Logistics Lam Sai Hong reminded the public that a significant increase in road traffic should be expected on Monday morning, and that citizens should plan their journeys ahead of time to avoid traffic jams, adding that the authorities will monitor traffic conditions and public transport services in real time. He also revealed that staff will be distributed to traditional school areas, such as Kowloon Tong, Po Kong Village Road, Kwai Shing Circuit, and Braemar Hill, to coordinate the traffic. Additionally, the department has advised local bus operators serving cross-border routes to be vigilant about passenger volumes and operational conditions to ensure adequate service for cross-border students. Meanwhile, a new school year often brings worries and anxiety to parents, but school principals suggested the opposite. Ling Chun-pong, chairman of the Association of the Heads of Secondary Schools, advised that parents should sometimes let go of their children and let them learn from their own experiences instead of always trying to solve problems for them. Kids will grow up and learn eventually, he added.
Factory activity in the mainland remained in contraction for a fourth consecutive month in August, adding to the bleak outlook facing the world's second-largest economy. The official Manufacturing Purchasing Managers Index, which measures the sentiment among factory owners, stood at 49.1 in August, down from 49.4 in July, the National Bureau of Statistics said. A reading above 50 denotes an expansion of economic activity, whereas a reading below implies a contraction. All 5 component indexes stayed in the negative territory, with the production index recorded its first contraction since February. Elsewhere, the non-manufacturing PMI stood at 50.3 in August, compared to 50.2 in July. While the gauge remained in expansion territory for the 20th straight month, it had been lingering along the 50 threshold line for 3 months.
Ukrainian rockets hit the Russian city of Belgorod and its surroundings late Friday, killing 5 people and injuring 37. The attack was in retaliation after Russia bombed the city of Kharkiv. A 14-year-old girl was among the 6 people who died in a Russian missile strike on Ukraine's second largest city. The bomb hit an apartment block in Kharkiv, damaging several floors of the residential structure and wounding 59 others. Kharkiv is just 35 kilometers from the Russian border and has been targeted frequently. Another 2 people were killed and 13 others injured in overnight strikes on the city of Sumy, roughly 200 kilometers northwest of Kharkiv. The attacks came just hours before Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky dismissed the head of his Air Force. Lieutenant General Mykola Oleshchuk was fired 4 days after an F-16 fighter jet crashed during a Russian bombardment, killing the pilot. The plane was given to Ukraine by its Western partners to thwart the Russian offensive. Zelensky is requesting for more weapons from his Western allies, saying such strikes could be prevented if Ukraine had the capability to destroy Russian air bases. Sachin Katwe, Cable News.